What is going on, guys? MMA Island team, we got the fight picks, and we've got the main event of the evening. I will leave it to Bruce Buffer. UFC 255, man, the flyweight division title. Man, so happy to see Deiveson Figueiredo get that win against Joseph Benavidez in the second fight, just because I had a lot of money on that fight exactly, and he dominates him. I think if I were to preview a fight in a sort of a quote, I would say for Joseph Benavidez, Deiveson Figueiredo too, it would be, y'all want to see a dead body? Because that's what that fight ended up to be. And you're talking about Alex Perez, a guy who I hold in very, very high regard because he's a very cool dude. I've interviewed him. I've DM'd him. Really super cool dude. I've been a fan of him for a long, long time. And this dude has looked on fire. Recently, at least. And just to mention, shout out to you MMA math followers. I'm not too much of an MMA math guy myself, but hey, Juicy Formiga defeats Deiveson Figueiredo. Alex Perez defeats Formiga first round via TKO leg kicks. Zach.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you.
Okay. So I'll get into it when it's my turn, okay? I've been waiting to rip into this for the longest time.
So when Zach says that he's waiting to rip into it, he's waiting to rip into me personally as well.
Because you're picking Perez, aren't you?
We will find out.
You are.
I want to tease it a little bit first. So again, and I've mentioned this in the Moreno Royval preview that I think Perez deserves the title shot.
He does not.
I think he deserves it because you obviously you go the distance of Mark De La Rosa. You should beat Mark De La Rosa. Sure, he does finish him, whatever. You get defeated by a Benavidez TKO first round. It was kind of an interesting fight. Alex Perez, even in my interview, said that Benavidez headbutted him. I'd have to rewatch it again.
Because Benavidez leads with his head, and then he blames people for headbutts. Benavidez, you clown.
Yeah, so and then you get the Espinosa fight, arm triangle. It was really interesting. I talked to him about that one as well. And then after my interview with him, he defeats him Formiga via leg kicks. And I mentioned this in the Royval Moreno interview, and I was talking or not interview preview, and I'm recording it, and I'm like, oh, he's about to finish him via leg kicks. He's about to finish him, and what do you know? Right away, finish him via leg kicks. It was awesome. It was really cool to see. Alex Perez loved that. I sent that video to him, and it was awesome. So happy to see somebody I've interviewed get a title shot. Am I picking him? I want to lay it out even more.
Just say it, for God's sake.
I'm picking Alex Perez.
I knew it.
I will pick Alex Perez in this one.
Oh, boy.
And man,
I can't wait.
This is the thing. Not high confidence whatsoever. It's so close for me. And there's a couple reasons why. So just to mention this. You're talking about Alex Perez, a guy who is so technical, striking, so technical in his submissions. And you're talking about the same in Deiveson Figueiredo for sure. I'll talk about him. I'll praise him all I want because he's a damn good fighter. But so technical in his striking, so technical in his submissions. And a guy who's never been dropped in his UFC and MMA career.
It's going to change.
That's the thing, man. It's just you're talking about Deiveson Figueiredo and Figueiredo. Pantoja, you get a unanimous decision over him. Sure, Pantoja's awesome. We saw him in Askar Askarov, which I think is the flyweight Tony Ferguson, Khabib Nurmagomedov. It was awesome fight. And then goes on, submits Tim Elliott. And then you beat Benavidez twice. So one thing I find pretty
Murders Benavidez.
One thing I find pretty interesting is that Benavidez actually struck Deiveson Figueiredo in the first fight, I think it was only the first fight. Just to look at it now. Yeah, it was only the first fight. Outstruck Deiveson Figueiredo 46-25, which is pretty interesting. And another very interesting stat that I wanted to mention is looking at the Benavidez fight. 64% of Benavidez strikes landed. Obviously, it was only 22, and he got demolished that entire fight. But if you give Benavidez a chin, hey, who knows? 64% striking accuracy. If that goes the distance, that's going to add up. 51 or 48% striking accuracy for Benavidez. It's not where you want it to be, but he outstruck him at the same time. You look at Tim Elliott, 68% striking accuracy against Deiveson Figueiredo. So what we've seen at a Figueiredo is that people love to mention how technical of a striker he is. Totally true. He gets hit. he gets hit. So that's one thing that
Oh
I'm
boy.
taking into play for
Oh
sure.
boy.
And
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
It's so close. Don't bash me. It's so close, in my opinion. And then you're talking about Formiga. Formiga landed 43% against Alex Perez, which I mentioned 48 is lower than it wants to be. You're looking at 43. Espinoza, 15% against Perez. And then you're looking at Mark De La Rosa. Obviously, you went the distance with him, but he's landed 26 fights at 30% striking accuracy. Benavidez landed 25 in the first fight. That's one less than Mark De La Rosa landed on Alex Perez the entire fight. Obviously, Mark De La Rosa, probably one of the worst fighters in the UFC, in my opinion.
He's out. He's been cut.
Oh, he's been cut. Yes, that's right. But yeah. So I don't know, man. This is so close, in my opinion. And people like Zach are gonna get a wake up call because I think this fight is down to go.
I'm not.
Regardless, I don't think I don't think Figueiredo can finish him. And I've been proven wrong before, but I will pass it on to Zach.
Thank God. Okay.
I know he's itching to break into me. So
Deiveson Figueiredo is one of the most compelling fighters I've ever seen fight just because of the way that he fights people. It's like a predator in the jungle stalking their prey. And you mentioned, first thing I want to mention because I might lose track of it, you said that Figueiredo gets hit. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. But that is all part of his strategy I call the Deiveson Figueiredo patented controlled chaos method. Because his chin is one of the most insane things I have ever seen in my entire life. He has never been fazed by any single shot. He will get hit by something and continue to march forward like nothing ever happened. He sacrifices the getting hit so he can get the opening on the opponent and land. And this guy, when I
so good technically, I'm sorry.
But he is the hardest hitting flyweight in history. It's not even close. And just the fact of how massive of a guy he is. Deiveson Figueiredo walks around at 165 pounds, which for reference is only 5 pounds lighter than a welterweight Charlie Ontiveros was in the cage against Kevin Holland. He walks around at the same size as featherweights, and he is a flyweight. And just the thing about Figueiredo is that he marches people forward. He does not throw a ton of volume. He marches forward. He waits for the opening and he throws that punch. And when he does, it is lights out because this guy hits so ungodly hard for a flyweight. It's ridiculous. And if this fight goes to the ground, it's relatively even, but Figueiredo's BJJ game is incredible. And if he can develop his wrestling defense and maybe a wrestling offense, I don't see anyone in the near future that can even pose a challenge to him. I think that he has the potential to be an insanely dominant champion if he can get the weight cutting on point, which he seems to have been doing, if he can get some wrestling offense and he can shore up the jiu-jitsu even more than he already has, because his striking, he can beat anyone on the feet, absolutely anyone and everyone. It doesn't matter how technical you are. You're not going to finish him. His chin is going to take any shot that you throw at him. Any shot, especially from these flyweights. It's like they don't even affect him. It's hilarious. Just watch Benavidez, like the Benavidez knockout. He was throwing punches at Figueiredo. He just eats them like nothing happened, marches forward, flatlines him. And it was the beating he put on Benavidez the second time was so brutal, he screamed himself awake in terror. It's one of the most unintentionally hilarious things I've ever, but when Benavidez woke up against Figueiredo, he screamed.
Where'd you see that?
Where did you see it? It's on the broadcast. Watch the free fight. It's on YouTube.
Oh my God. Okay. I definitely got to see that.
Yeah. Go to 5:47. I have the time set memorized. Don't judge me.
Well, you're getting a matchup of two of probably the biggest fans. I'd say flyweight, my number one favorite fighter in flyweight is Alex Perez.
My favorite is Deiveson. Deiveson Figueiredo is just one of my favorite fighters in general, just because of the way he does.
Perez, one of my favorite fighters.
He just marches forward. It's just how he fights is so different than everyone else because of how unafraid he is of everyone else. He just looks at these. He says this in interviews too. The people are his prey. He is there to hunt and kill them. His mentality is so intense. This guy is not going to lose for a while. Perez's only chance is that if he somehow survives and Figueiredo gasses out. That's his only chance. His only chance. He can't finish him. He can't really like outpower him. He can't out grapple him. He has to outlast him. That is the only way Alex Perez win this fight. And that's why Deiveson Figueiredo is going to knock his first title defense. Deiveson Figueiredo is going to continue his very entertaining reign. Viva Deus de Guerra, long live the God of War.
So what's the final prediction? I say Perez via decision.
Deiveson Figueiredo, second round Shadow Realm.
So you got TKO?
No, sent to the knockout, sent to the Shadow Realm.
Oh, come on. All right. Well, if this doesn't – I don't know about you guys, but I'm hyped up even more after talking to Zach, and I knew I would be after I came to the conclusion that I was picking Perez. One of my ballsier picks for sure. But, hey, man, I like this dude. I don't like this dude just for no reason. And obviously he's been a great guy to me. He's been a great guy to the MMA Island team. But yeah, no, this dude is very, very technical. If you don't know about Alex Perez, go check out some of his fights because this dude is very, very good. If you know, you should know about Deiveson Figueiredo and how good that dude is. He's the flyweight Francis Ngannou, I will always say. But, hey, you're fighting the flyweight Stipe Miocic and Alex Perez. So, hey, here we go.
No.
I will leave it to the fight, and I want to know what you guys think. So make sure you guys are letting us know what you guys think in the comments. I know most of you got Figueiredo, but hey, let me see some Alex Perez love. Let's go.
Viva Deus de Guerra. Vai morrer.
Man, this is probably the most biased you'll ever see us, but here we go. We'll leave it to the players.
No, that's Jacare Vittori when that happens.
That's probably true. But make sure you guys are letting us know what you guys think, liking the video, subscribing to the channel. Make sure you guys check out the other Fight Pick videos.